There we go. Well, welcome. I am so excited to be with you, CEO Chicks, today on this amazing Friday. And we're talking about one of my favorite things to talk about, sales and sales strategy. So today, I want to set you guys up to kind of just talk about sales in your business currently. We're going to go through some concepts and ideas that are going to be very practical for you to be able to kind of check boxes on being sure that you have these items in place, you're taking action on them. And then this is a two-part class. So today is kind of the setup, the preparation. You'll have a little bit of homework to do. And then we're going to come back in a few weeks, talk about our homework, and really get into the nuts and bolts of your sales plan and process that you currently have in your business or you want to be implementing in your business. So let me go ahead. We've got a couple other ladies to add in. There we go. And I'm going to start with an introduction because many of you I know, but there is quite a few of you here that I don't. And so my name is Jennifer Enders. I am an executive sales coach here with the network. By day, I have spent my years in corporate America, primarily in financial and technology sales at the enterprise level. I currently work for LinkedIn and am an enterprise account director there. And then I also have my own business as well. And so today we'll talk about that a little bit more as I share some examples, but really excited to kind of take my years of corporate sales experience and my own entrepreneurship journey to share with you how you can really have a successful sales strategy for your business. So before we jump in, I would love for you guys to get into the chat here and let me know when it comes to sales on a scale of 1 to 5, how do you feel about your ability to sell in your business? 1, I'm not really great at it at all. 5, I got this down, feeling really good about my sales strategy and my ability to sell in my business. All right, I'm seeing a 2. Anybody else? 2. Okay. I see you guys. All right. So this is a good call for us today. Definitely something for us to dig into. Anybody else on a scale of 1 to 5 would just love to see how you feel about your ability to sell in your business. Anybody else on a scale of 1 to 5? 5, I got this down. 1, I need a lot of help. 2, feeling good. Okay, good. We got a 4 in the chat. Awesome. All right. My goal is, of course, our comfort level confidence comes with execution, right? So by the end of the call, your number may not change a lot, right? But however, over the next couple sessions that we're working together and you implementing some of these practices, I'm really, really confident that you'll be able to get yourself closer to that 5. Good. I see a couple more 3s coming in. So depending upon your business type, today, what we discuss may change, right? It may be different for each and every one of you, and why discussion is going to be important on this call. So I'm really hoping that you guys grab that coffee. I'm hoping that you'll unmute, share, ask questions. We can really work together over the next hour to set up your business for sales success. So let's take a look here. I want to start out with kind of the basics. You know, we often have people get confused when it comes to marketing your business versus selling in your business. And so I wanted to kind of just give you a foundational introduction. You know, marketing is what creates interest. What attracts potential clients to your business. But sales is what really directly engages with that individual and helps convert them to a client. And that's really important to understand because every day when we're working in our business and working on our business, we can kind of get blinders on. And before you know it, we've spent a lot of budget on marketing. We spent a lot of time on marketing. We're doing all of these things that we expect should be able to convert us to sales, then just to find out that we really don't have that post-marketing sales transaction process down. And so we've invested time and money on the front end and really aren't seeing the conversions that we need to see. So this conversation is to help you understand how to begin to convert those potential clients, those prospects in your business into clients. Okay. So take that marketing hat off for now. Of course, there's a little bit of bleed, right? And we may talk a little bit about that today because they are really related, but they are two separate things. And today's conversation is going to be definitely focused on talking about the sales side of this conversation and interaction with your client. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling good about that information, and definitely understand that there's a difference between marketing and sales. I'd love to see some reactions in the chat. Good, thumbs up, everybody's following. So today we are going to, let me click over here and get it to go forward. There we go. It's 4 kind of foundational things when it comes to building your sales strategy. And for some of you, this may be a repeat. You already know these things. Hopefully it will be new to the majority of you. But what we're going to do is really kind of work through making sure that we're crossing T's and dotting I's around what your foundation is for building a sales strategy and having a real plan to grow your business through selling, right? So first is understanding your market. Second, to the right, we'll talk about defining your value proposition. Bottom left, we're going to talk about setting sales goals, which is so important. And then the bottom right, we'll talk about developing a sales plan. And today we're just going to touch on the sales plan. The sales plan is really what we're going to dig into nuts and bolts on the next conversation that we have together. All right. So let's dive right in. You know, when it comes to your business and selling, there's 2 parts we'll talk about first. That's the who we're selling to and the why they should buy from you. The who and the why. And that's what we're going to spend a little time on here as we get started. Conducting market research. If you will, I would love to hear from the group. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. If you have conducted some measure of market research in your business, how you did that, what you did. I would just love to hear what some of you did to conduct market research, or ongoing if you're conducting regular market research. Anybody who would love to share today, I'd love to hear from you all. Does everybody understand what market research is? Let me pause and start there. So it's understanding your target market, the people that you're trying to sell to, the potential customers that you have, and then also the competitors that could be out there doing something similar, or maybe even the same thing as you in your area that you would be competing against. Who's looked and done any market research at this point in your business? Don't be shy. You've been out there searching online. I know we have some social media sleuths checking out businesses in your area, competitors to your business. I'd love to hear what you're looking for and how you've conducted this research.
Go ahead, Sharice, unmute yourself.
Okay, good morning again. I've done a little bit of research. I have looked at competitors, kind of seeing what they're offering, as far as the clients that I'm serving, the audience that I'm serving. I've also done, it's been a little while, but I've done like a questionnaire on my page or face or contact through social media for that target audience, some of those that I've connected with, trying to figure out how I can best serve them with what I was trying to offer. I probably have to do that again, but those are the 2 things I've done in the past.
I love it. And those are really, really great ideas. Thank you so much, Sharice. And I apologize, I can't see everybody. So if you want to interject, please just unmute and talk. But thank you, Sharice, for that feedback. And those are great ways to get data, which is really important to help build a successful strategy. You do not want to be moving forward blind. It costs money and lots of time and effort, as you all know, as entrepreneurs, to go down a path just to find out that it is not successful. Certainly, there's going to be times, even with research, we're going to go down a path and find out that it wasn't successful, right? But certainly you can help save time, you can help save money by doing market research. I will tell you, there are so many ways to conduct market research. As we mentioned, just doing some online searches on your own, being able to make some phone calls, being faux clients to competitors to understand their process, their pricing, to do surveying, which you mentioned, which I absolutely love, hearing direct from your customers. Sometimes we believe or make assumptions about what we think that our customer base is going to want or need. And oftentimes we are not our own customer, right? And so we can kind of run amiss making assumptions moving forward in our business without real data. And surveying is an excellent way to be able to get data. I would recommend that you're not only surveying upfront, non-clients, but even your current clients, so that you can continue to refine your offering, bring additional value. Market research is so critical, and you really need to build that in to your regular sales process, your regular follow-up process, your customer retention process, right? That's going to continue to ensure that even as the market changes, as the industry changes, you're remaining relevant, and that as you're selling your customer at the inception, right, to bring them on as a client, but continue to sell them, to keep them as a client, that you're really in tune with what their needs are. I'll also say industry trends have always been important, but are even more important. I'll say in my career in sales, industry trends, the first half of my career were, probably impacting about 40% of the way that I sold. Nowadays, I'd say that honestly, it's about impacting 80%, meaning that I have got to really stay in tune to what's happening in the market, specifically around technology and the economy, because that is impacting how my buyers are making their buying decisions, right? What does budget look like? Is the economy on an upturn? Do they feel confident about their current business and position to invest in my business? Are there new technologies coming out that if I'm not an early adopter of those technologies, it's going to put me in an inferior position to my competitors? These are things that you want to pay attention to. Industry trends are impacting business at a higher and faster rate than ever before. And so this is really, really important for you all to stay on top of and to build in, I'm going to keep saying this, regimented time in your business to be doing market research, including industry trends. What I would love for you all to do as a little tip, you all can set up Google, what am I going to call? Oh gosh, see, look, I need coffee this morning. Google notifications for certain keywords. Google Alerts is what they call it. Keywords and things about your business and your industry. You can set that up in Google and have emails come out to you on a consistent basis that will actually alert you of things that are happening online with regards to those keywords. So if your business is a retail business and you want to know about industry technology for retail, you can literally go to Google Alerts and set up keywords like retail industry trends, retail technology trends. And now you'll start to get news and information pushed to you so that you can stay up on what's happening in the market, what's happening in your industry. So I want to have you add that to your task list today. I hope you've gotten paper and pen out because I'm going to give you quite a few things that you're going to want to begin to immediately implement. This is going to be really helpful. You could also use Google Alerts to put in your competitors' names. Okay, your competitors' names will be able to help you. If they're coming up in the news, something's happening with those competitors, you're going to be alerted to it and have an understanding of what's going on. So market research is really important. I want to pause there. I see some words in the chat. Oh, good. Katia's got pen and paper ready. Love it. I would love any feedback or questions on market research. I want to make sure that we kind of pause here. If you all have not done market research, I would love for you to put in one item. Excuse me, guys. Put one item in the chat that you're going to take action on this week. Even if it's the Google alerts, that's fine. Take action right now. What's one thing that you're going to do this week to help engage with your market research? Would love it. Oh, I love that Colleen mentioned using SEMrush for
Yeah, I
SEO.
was just gonna say, there's some people on. I added some of my Bible study ladies. So
Good.
listen, guys. Yeah. Um, Anyhow, what I wanted to say ultimately was that we will have the ability to give them SEMrush, right? So I'm looking for the link so that they can look at SEMrush and try SEMrush as well. And when it comes to market research, for those that do not know, Coach Jennifer is also my business partner, right? She has been with CEO Chick since the inception. She has a major like just gift when it comes to our back end support, operations, things of that nature, sales, pipeline, looking at data, all of that great stuff. And so we also are partners in Hello Jen, which you guys know we did a soft launch at the top of the year with Hello Jen, where we have a virtual assistant company that really helps with everything, right? Admin, sales, lead generation, all that good stuff. So if you're in need of VAs, just let us know in the chat. A couple of CEO chicks that are on here already have taken advantage of the Hello Gen VA services, where you get a team of VAs for the cost of one. But I just kind of wanted to tee it up a little bit about who she is and what she does and how we have worked together over the years. But so that you don't kind of overthink market research, because it can be like, well, I only did a Google search, right? Well, that, like to Jennifer's point, is a part of it. But things you can do to go deeper would be, you know, your current customer base, sending out surveys. She talked about that. You can use Google Forms to do that. We've done a share of Google Forms just to survey. The technology piece she talked about, we're moving CEO Chicks right now from one platform to another because we want to increase engagement with CEO Chicks. So we're having to change the platform. So I just kind of wanted to elaborate on some of the things that I put in the chat. As far as surveying your followers as well, and looking at analytics on social media, making sure you have a business page on your social media. For example, Atlanta is one of has picked up, and as our analytics are concerned when it comes to my social media pages. So we're going to be doing a lot of work in Atlanta over the summer based on those analytics, right? So that helps a lot. Just trying to think of some things they can do that's right at their fingertips that they may not be thinking about in their stories. You can do things in stories on your social media. Yeah, anybody else have anything they want to add?
I love it. Colette mentioned in the chat, social listening is a great way for research. Absolutely love that idea as well, too. You know, like anything in business, the small things that you do on a consistent basis make a big difference. And so you don't have to, what I always say, like boil the ocean. You don't have to do all the things all right now, but getting consistent with a few of these things on a regular basis, being attuned to what's happening in the markets will definitely help continue you to position yourself in a better way. Every week, do a little something different, do a little something more every month, and you'll absolutely do that. Social listening, I would love, Colette, will you open up your unmute for us and share how you use social listening for your business?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
I'm in California, so it's early.
Hey, no problem. No need to get off camera.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, social listening is where you actually use all of your social platforms to listen, to hear what your customers are saying, to actually survey them and allow that information to get a pulse, an immediate pulse on what your customers are feeling about you, about your product, about competition. but B, it also allows you to take that information and then be able to make it actionable, to change things you're doing or reach and talk to them in a different way. I do relationship marketing, and I'm just launching my business. So I actually just did a post about this yesterday because I think it's an underutilized tool that is readily at your fingertips.
Agreed 100%. The power of social media to get immediate feedback is just amazing, right? It can be a very good thing and it can be a very bad thing, right? Depending upon the
Yes.
situation. But in this case, you're absolutely right. Social listening is a huge opportunity. And guess what, guys? In most cases, it's free when you're conducting it
Yes.
yourself organically. So we always love free methods of growing, learning, and moving through our business. So thank you, Colette. Appreciate you so early, and Callie joining in with us today. So the next thing that we want to spend some time on today is defining your value proposition. I am sure that the majority of you already have this to some measure, but it will be really helpful for you to continue to work on clearly articulating what makes your business or service unique and different from others. Having the opportunity to identify the key benefits that are a solution for your customer's problem. That's really important to know, and to be able to get right to the heart of that when you're looking at your sales conversations. And when I say sales conversations, for some of you, it may be an online engagement with someone. It could be an in-person. If you're doing your prospecting and your consultations like we do at Hello Jen, it's over video, right? So think about these and all the different ways that you engage with your clients, but it's going to be really important that we're really sharp and clear on how we're sharing that. And then last but not least, you see here, crafting a compelling message that resonates with your audience. And this is what is really foundational. You all who joined the first call of this series, or I guess it wasn't the first, but the last call with Shelly, Coach Shelly, she talked about selling being an emotional purchase. Even when I am selling in a corporate setting and the buyer is an employee of a large company, they're purchasing for their company. It's not their own home. It's not their own car. But guess what? They're still using their emotions to make that purchase. So it doesn't matter what you're selling, what segment you're selling in, whether it's small businesses, it's big businesses, it's a direct consumer. Emotions are involved. And when you can craft a compelling message or story that resonates with that buyer, you are going to see greater success. Period. So I want to pause. For some of you who are on the line, I would love for somebody to share, how are you articulating your value proposition? What is it that you have that your client needs in order for them to want to buy from you? And it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to do a whole 30-second pitch, but just at the foundation, what is it that you offer that is compelling to a buyer? Who wants to share?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Usually when someone is interested in buying something, you usually have to fill some kind of a gap or need that they want. Once you can identify, so you usually have to want to assess the situation first to find out what that gap is that they need. And then once you figure out what that gap is, then you fill that need.
You do. So what gap are you filling, Kay? That's what I'm asking. What is your business? What's that compelling offer that you're making to your buyer?
So right now, I'm just in the process of starting the early phases. I'm actually in school too. So my practice is going to be about holistic health, because I believe the body is a temple. And then if you put the body in a state of healing, it'll heal. So while I do work in traditional medicine, I work in a hospital. I understand the role of medicine, but I also understand the role of the body and how we can put it in a state of healing by what we put in our body, what we put in our minds, and our environment. So I believe in that holistic process to work in tandem with traditional medicine, but also allowing the body to heal by providing education, providing natural therapies, so that the body can be in a better state of healing. So ultimately, the use of modern medicine will be less.
I love it. So your practice essentially is going to provide products and services that will help someone to take ownership for healing their bodies and getting to a better state of wellness, correct?
Yeah.
Love it. That's definitely a compelling message to share. Anyone else? What about realtors? I thought I saw a couple realtors on the line, right? That's a very different business than health and wellness. What are some of the key benefits or the compelling features that you're sharing why someone should be using you to buy or sell their home? Has anybody defined that real clearly for themselves?
Yvette, is she, I'm sorry, Yesenia on here still? I'm gonna just start calling people out. Katia.
I saw Yesenia. I think Katia was still on.
I want to hear from them. Yeah.
Hi, I'm here. Sorry. I'm
Hey there.
working and doing this. Can you repeat the question again?
Of course. We're just talking about your value proposition. I'm trying to help people hear some of the value props that other businesses have so that they can help better define theirs. So when it comes to you in the market as a realtor, how are you, when you're wanting to become somebody's buyer, you know, the agent, right? How are you sharing what makes you different than someone else?
So I would say a lot of my business, at least, is probably about 85% referral based. It's a lot of like past clients and family members. So I tune in a lot on that, on my integrity, honesty, treating everyone like family. It's kind of sort of what has set me apart in the business.
I love it. That is fantastic. It's very clear. It's very easy to understand. And for you, it comes right off, right? That rolls right off the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
I want you guys to note this down as a really important step, because I'm assuming, because we didn't have more people want to be able to share, that maybe that we don't have that fully defined. And this is really important that you do have that defined. So take a note. We already have Google alerts we're going to be setting up this week. Part 2 of this is conducting, you know, that market research was part 1. Part 2 is understanding your value proposition. When it comes to Hello Jen, right? So Colleen mentioned that is the business that we partner on as well. We are providing a VA team for the cost of one virtual assistant, helping our clients save time, money, and gain back their freedom. Right? That's our value proposition. That's who we are. And so being able to articulate that clearly is going to be really important. It's not always one phrase or one word. It could be a couple of phrases. This isn't your slogan. We're not really getting into that on the marketing side, but it's when you're having that sales conversation with someone, you know, how are you sharing and compelling them to make the decision to buy your product or your service? So Colette, I love it. Colette's putting examples in the chat. She said, how about this? I take my 25 years of working for Fortune 500 companies in relationship marketing to work with small and medium businesses to build stronger relationships with their customers, to decrease churn, drive loyalty, and increase revenue through relationship marketing. Bravo. Love it. That is awesome. Yeah, everybody's giving you some reactions there in the chat. This is your value proposition. If you're not clear on your value proposition, your buyers are going to be unclear on how you can solve their problem. This is going to be really important as we move forward, because from your value proposition is how we drive your sales strategy and your plan. That's how we're talking about the benefits and the features of your product. That is how you're marketing in a successful way to even pull those prospects in, right? To have an awareness about your business. So This is good. This is what these calls are for. If this is an area where you're not confident, where you do not have your value proposition clear, I want you to take that away as homework from this call today and be prepared to take some action in the next couple of weeks. So when we come back and we're meeting again, I believe it's on the 21st, I would love to see and hear you all throw your value prop into the chat, share live on our next call. All right. I'm going to pause here. We're doing really well on time, but I want to stop and ask answer any questions or have dialogue that would help you all work through this step. Step 2, defining your value proposition. Any questions? If you're all good, just give me a thumbs up. Helps me know we're good to move forward and not leaving anybody behind. All right, awesome. Well, let's continue. I want to talk a little bit about a SWOT analysis. Oh, hold on. We had a question come in. Kremalia says, I feel like people need to see what you're talking about. And when you're presenting, most of us are just talking and asking questions. But I'm showing my landing pages and what everything looks like. Oh, that's a great idea, Kremelia. So I could show you that. Let me see if I can get out. We won't be able to go into a bunch of landing pages today, but I can show you our website if that gives somebody a little bit of more visibility into value proposition. This goes a little bit into marketing. Let me see if I can show it because I did pull it up. And let me see if you guys are still sharing. I'm going to stop share and reshare. Great idea, because we've got time. 1 second here. Are you all seeing my screen now?
Yeah, we can see the hello, Jen. Mm-hmm.
Good. So I'll give you an idea. Our value prop, look at that. You see it
It's
as soon as
I don't know what mode you have it on though. Like it's not like filling the screen. You know me, I'm aesthetics.
hold on 1 second.
I'm like, it's not filling the screen, but like the
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
I'll just open up
it's
this
all
way. So
good.
you can see the
Go
tab.
ahead for the sake of time.
Yeah, just for the tabs, so y'all can see it. But do you see, like, in short, our value proposition is the very first thing you see on the page when you come to our website. Save time, money, gain more time, freedom. Hire your team of virtual assistants for the price of one. Short and simple. That's our value proposition. If somebody comes to our page, they immediately have an awareness to what it is that we have to offer to compel them to get more information. Is that helpful visually seeing it, you all?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. And I want you to understand, and where I want to say, like, visually, it's going to be a part of your marketing. It's going to be a part of your social, but it needs to become a part of your conversation. It needs to be a part of what it is that you're saying to someone in that sales process. Why I think that it's so important and that we don't just leave it to marketing, that marketing's going to do it for us. We, as a seller, primary seller of our businesses, for most of us, have to be confident to be able to share that information in an engaging way. If you have a sales team, this is something that has to be taught. Understanding the value proposition, being able to convey that, right? So it has to go further. That kind of goes back to the top of the call. I know so many of you may have come in a little bit later. The difference in marketing and sales. Marketing is what we consider, like, if you have a funnel, right? You all have used a funnel, like in cooking, or if you're ever putting, I don't know, coolant in your car, you use a funnel, right? It's big at the top, small at the bottom. Your marketing is what helps bring people to the top of that funnel. It brings awareness, but really what converts them, it gets them to that bottom of the funnel to transact with you, is making a purchase. It's having compelling information to make a decision and to take action. And so marketing and sales are related, but they're different. And I don't want you to think that just seeing your value proposition on a website or on social is going to convert people. You have to help them to take action. And that's what the sales process is about. All right. So this is our website. Hello, Jen. That was just for those of you, a bit of our value prop, and you'll see that all through the website as you move forward as well. So when you're doing market research, you're looking at your competitors, check out their value proposition on their website. How are they sharing that in social that's maybe helping them to be successful, so that you can look to mirror that as well. Did I hear somebody had a question while I was finishing that comment?
That was just me saying if you could scroll a little bit from the top to the, yeah.
Yep. So all throughout, you're going to see that value prop shared. Good. I saw lots of engagement in the chat. It looks like, yes, thumbs up. That was helpful. Good. Great suggestion. And thank you for making that suggestion. Let's take a look then at our next steps. We looked at the who and the why. I want to talk a little bit about SWOT analysis. And today we're not going to spend a ton of time on this. We're going to go through our last two steps, but it's important that as you're preparing your value prop, as you're doing your market research, that you conduct what we call a SWOT analysis. Obviously, you can see here, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Has anyone ever done a SWOT analysis before? Just shoot me a thumbs up in the chat. No. Okay, good. So it's new for others. So whenever we're looking at, yay, Sharice has done one before. Colleen, awesome. SWOT analysis is essentially giving you the opportunity to plan and prepare for the success for your business. And when we talk about a sales strategy, it is so critical to the success of your business. You have to understand how you stand up in the market. So this is a bit of an extension of that market research, but we want to understand these 4 things about your business. And I love it. Katia's done it before, but not for her business. So yay, we got to do this for your business. Strengths. These are the characteristics of your business that give it advantages over its competitors. For many of you being solopreneurs, you are the advantage, right? Like Yesenia mentioned, the way that she treats her clients and she conducts her business, building trust, being like a family, right? Like that personal characteristic for her is a strength for her business. So when you create your SWOT analysis, oftentimes it's like 4 squares. You guys can Google it and you'll see charts and templates. You can get a SWOT analysis template online too, but you would list out what are your strengths. Okay. It's really important to understand those. On the other side of that, what are your weaknesses? So characteristics of your current business, the way that you're conducting business that would maybe put you at a disadvantage relative to your competitors. So let me think about this. All right. So a weakness of the Hello Jen business model is that we are actually a team of VAs instead of one individual VA. So of course, if somebody is looking for a executive assistant as a VA, one person to run just their schedule, right? That's actually not our business model. So when you think about our business as a virtual assistant business in general, that could be seen as a weakness, right? In the same light, we have an entire team that helps support a company for almost the price of a regular VA. In lots of cases, it is the same price. So that could also be our strength. So you may find as you're working on your SWOT analysis, you'll have some things that can be seen as a weakness and some things that can be as a strength by different buyer types. But it's important for this to just be like a working exercise to understand, again, your position in the market. When you understand your strength, that's going to help build your value prop as well as your weaknesses. How do we lean into our strengths and pull our weaknesses, right? Maybe to be something that isn't as important, right? How do we showcase our strengths over our weaknesses? That's really going to be important. Awesome. Thanks for the link on a SWOT template. Appreciate it. When we look at our opportunities and threats, I want you guys to think about things that are outside of what you control. Okay. So opportunities and threats are going to be elements in your external environment, It could be outside of you. Let's just say that, right? That could impact your business. So, for instance, elements in a company's external environment that allow it to formulate and implement strategies to improve performance. So, it's a really great opportunity for everyone that's outside of your business. The advancement of artificial intelligence, AI. We didn't create it. It exists in our environment outside of us. But for those of us who are taking advantage of using AI in our businesses, this becomes a great opportunity for you to improve performance. So AI should probably be on every single person's SWOT analysis, and we should all be looking for ways to be injecting that into our business in order to see success. Okay. Threats, elements in the external environment that could endanger the business, its profitability, or its competitive advantages. I think one of the threats that we have to continue to be thoughtful of, if you have an online business or a virtual based business, is the concerns with social media, with the internet blackouts, with technology blackouts, right? We've seen platforms going down. If your business is in need of those kind of things that are outside of your control, that can be a threat to your business. So how do you prepare for, to be able to meet those threats, to overcome those threats, to be able to see success? If you're a business owner, let's say in Orlando, and you have a very specific type of restaurant, right? And all of a sudden a competitor sets up shop in town offering the same thing. This is something in your external environment that now has become a threat to your business. Okay. So this SWOT analysis is going to be really important, that as you're thinking about how you become valuable to your client, how do you increase your position over competitors, become an industry leader, that you really understand your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I'm seeing you guys add, I love in the chat, what are your strengths and weaknesses? I would love to also see, where are your opportunities or threats? What are those things that are outside in the environment, things that you can't control that could impact your business? Any thought to that? This is the one where oftentimes we know our strengths and weaknesses fairly well, but we don't really take account for those things, the external forces that could help us grow our business or could also be a bit of a threat. Great interaction. Carmela, I love that. Sometimes her weakness is being a perfectionist. She got caught up in the back end of her business instead of continuing to work in the front end. Yeah, that's great. That's a great revelation about your business. I love it. Rebecca has a SWOT analysis that actually includes 3 C's for customers, competitors, and the corporation. Awesome. Colette, you're exactly right. I was wondering if anybody would bring up the economy or inflation. Yep. And people thinking that they can't afford it. They're concerned. The economy has people concerned about what's happening next. I'll also say there, in some ways, people will also look at the economy and believe that because we're in a year, a presidential election year, that we can see that improve sometimes the economy. It can go both ways based on your business type. For those of us who work in compliance, in regulatory settings, sometimes the change of a president can be helpful to what's happening in business. So these are some great thoughts and conversation around what outside could be impacting you. Katia, yes, in real estate, market interest, rates, and economy, absolutely. And I would say, what about legislation, Katia? There was some recent legislation on fees, right? Realtors being able to charge a certain percentage fee and that kind of changing. Some people on the side of it being positive and some negative. Governmental legislation can be of impact. So how do we overcome that? Absolutely. Opportunities. Cherise said, her alliance with Rollins College, knowing leaders and city leaders. Absolutely. You guys are getting it. So the SWOT analysis is our part 3 of our homework or tasks to be adding to our important to-do list, right? Really sitting down and thinking through a bit of this. And then how does this impact our sales process? How does this impact our sales strategy in leveraging those opportunities, leveraging those strengths, but also preparing for those weaknesses or threats, right? And looking to overcome those so that we can continue to position ourselves in a position of success. Great engagement. You guys are waking up. I love it. All right, so let's round out with our last 2 items, and then we're going to open up the last bit of time for Q&A as well. So the what and the how. We talked about the who and the why. Now let's talk about the what and the how. Like, what are we wanting to accomplish when it comes to sales? What are our financial goals for our business, and how do we get to them? And then the how is developing the sales plan. And that's where we're going to get into the nuts and bolts on our next call, where we'll talk about lead pages and things like that. So let's start with the top. Setting sales goals. You really need SMART goals. I know most of us have heard this acronym: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This is where we talk about taking action. Income producing activities is what we call it in business sometimes. So it's the setting the goals so that you can define the action that's needed to achieve those goals. This can be short-term and long-term goals. So this month, I want to acquire 2 new clients. I want to acquire 20 more clients. By the end of the year, I'd like to have my portfolio include X amount of sales, right? A certain dollar amount in revenue. Those are the types of goals that we need to set out. I would love to find out. We are in June. We're halfway through the year already. I would love to know what kind of goals you have set for yourself by the end of the year. What are you looking to accomplish in your business? What are you saying I want to see happen when it comes to sales goals? Is it a revenue number? Is it a client count number? Drop your goals in the chat. You know that when we put those goals out, when we speak them out, when we write them down, that's the process, the energy that sees us start to take the accompanying action that's required to get the job done. So don't be afraid, drop your goal in. I'd love to see it. Edwina's got 15 to 20 new clients a month. Love it. Absolutely love it. 5 new customers that generate at least 50,000 in revenue, says Colette. Awesome. Love it. So Candy said she wants to see more of an organic audience driven from SEO, not social media platforms. So Candy, I love that goal. I think that's a great marketing goal, right? We're looking at awareness. What about conversions? So from that action, from the organic audience uptick, from the more social that you're going to see, what is your goal for physical, actual conversions? Colleen said 50 new CEO chicks a month. Love it. We've got to get to these really targeted micro goals so that as we develop our sales plan, we can understand what the corresponding action is going to need to be in order to get to that goal. So Colleen noted 50 new CEO Chick students a month. We want to be able to back up in her sales plan then how many more people does that need to be to her website? 500? How many more followers on social media? 1,000 in order for those to convert eventually, right, to her sales goal, right? This is where we start to begin to understand what that top of funnel action has to look like in order for you to convert sales. And if we're constantly working on that top of funnel, our marketing, our advertising, but we're not analyzing how we're selling them and converting them, then we're missing out. So this is perfect. This is a great start. I love it. Candy knows she needs to see 100 new clicks to the website in 3 months. That's exactly it. Because out of those 100 clicks, we're going to be able to convert 10% of those? 5% of those, that's when we start to really analyze our sales strategy and our process to begin to make change in our inputs so that we get the right output. Love it. Katia will have closed 45 deals by the end of the year. I love it. I will be honest, because a number of things 6 months in, I'm not on track like I expected. So I'm looking to possibly adjust that goal that was established December of 23. Absolutely right. Based on, think about our SWOT analysis, right? Our opportunities, our threats, the outside things that may impact our strategy, we've got to be able to change. Also, what does that mean in our actions, right? So I talked about income producing activities. It means that I've got to send more direct follow-ups, emails back to clients who I consulted with. Have I been on the phone lately? When's the last time that we sat on the phone and dialed our leads and called them and asked them about coming back to us, where they are in their buying journey? Do they have any additional questions? These are the things that when we're really tuned into our sales plan and strategy, we can halfway through the year, Katia, make a shift, make a change, do something different in order to see a different result. That's really important. You're exactly. Oh, I love that, Colleen. Maybe not change the goals, but change the activities. Absolutely. And this is where it comes into creating smart goals. Maybe we have to look at our goals and say, originally, were they smart? Was it attainable? Was it relevant? Did I give myself enough time? And if I did, well, then great. Don't change that goal, change the corresponding action. But if we evaluate those goals and we find, you know what, that was a little lofty. I would have needed a part-time helper. I would have needed a VA to be able to accomplish these goals, right? Now I've got to reset and create something that's realistic for my plan. That's also really important as well. Love it. Reviewing, looking at your approach. Are there things that you're doing and not doing that can help change your close rate? Exactly right. Reignite relationships. All of those things help us analyze what it is in our process that's working and that is not working. Super important. So let's talk about that, a little bit about our sales plan, and we'll round out. This is just kind of to give you a touch of what we're going to talk about on our next call, but exactly what your comments are stating and sharing. Thank you so much for the engagement in the chat. This is awesome. We've got to be able to, if we're not aligning with the proper goals, seeing the success align with our goals, we're not hitting those in a way that are short-term or even long-term, we've got to go back to what our plan is, right? We've got to really be able to evaluate that. So when you're developing your sales plan from inception, you've got to kind of outline what I would call your sales tactics, okay? And your sales tactics are going to be how it is that you're specifically looking for business. So is your business inbound, meaning that you've got websites set up, you've got videos where people are watching and they're looking to convert. So they're coming business into you. That's inbound, right? Outbound. Am I directly calling? Am I soliciting? Am I DMing people for my business? What are those tactics and channels, right? Is it on the web? Is it on social media? Is it in person? Do you have brick and mortar, right? So developing your plan based on those channels that you are going to be utilizing to be able to get to your business, okay? Creating a sales process. From that, then we understand what our channels will be. That's really important. And so we want to understand then, how are we going to acquire this business? How are we going to interact in this sales process? So it can be lead generation and qualification is the first stage. Not everybody is your customer. Okay, not everybody is your customer. So how do we generate those leads in our marketing campaigns and then qualify them to help them understand if they are our client? They can see themselves as our client. And then how do they get to a sales presentation? How do they understand your value proposition at a deeper level to really understand what they're going to get when they invest in your product or in your service? How do we handle objections? That's really important. We need to understand what those are going to be from the majority of our clients and how we'll overcome them. And then how do we close the sale? Show me the money, right? What's our offer? What is the action we're asking them to take in order to close that deal and to make it happen? And then following up and customer retention. That is such an important part of our sales process. Once you've gotten that card, once you've made that transaction, it's what are we doing after that to ensure that they're receiving the value that they paid for, that they're happy with the services that you provide, that you're retaining them as a customer. And what I need to add here is that we're getting referrals. Yesenia mentioned that 85% of her business is coming from referrals. And this is really important. So the next phase of our conversation, the next time that we meet, we're going to dive into our sales plans. We're going to look at what that can look like for various businesses. I would love for you all to be willing to come and share what that looks like so that we can ensure that the plan that you have is rock solid. If it's not, we're going to shore it up. And then how do we take action on that plan every single week in order to keep our sales pipeline moving? We've got clients coming all the time, and we're really seeing success the second half of the year. So this is it. It's a wrap for us today. We're at the bottom of the hour, but I would love the opportunity to open up the call for any final questions, thoughts. You guys have been so great. I love the engagement of the chat. Thank you so much. Any questions that y'all want to throw in?
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you guys so much. I literally know that God woke me up out of my sleep, and I never look at my phone right when I wake up. I was about to do Bible study, and I woke up and I looked at my phone, and I received your text, and I clicked on the link, and I was like, I just said the prayer of Jabez and said, God, bring me people that are my kingdom helpers. And I kid you not, I'm just so grateful. And Colleen, I've been following you forever, and I'm so grateful for you guys. Dan, you did an amazing job. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I'm so glad that you made it in today, right on time. Isn't that just what we need?
Yes.
Well, I will tell you, these calls and the engagement, I mean, is just game changing. And I just continue to implore for those of you who aren't CEO chicks to definitely join, for those of you who got the chance to join in today. And for those of you that are here, really like dive in deep, engage, ask questions, get what you need, network. It really does make a difference in our businesses and the success of our businesses overall when we're running alongside each other, working hard together, gleaning from each other, and being inspired each and every day. You guys always inspire me every time I'm on. So thank you so much for today. Colleen, anything that you have before we close out? All right. It looks like we're good to go, you all. Thanks for your time. Oh, go ahead.
I put it in the chat for those that are interested in joining. I kind of want to know who's interested in joining, who's interested in being a part, and just seeing who's on, because there are some people I don't know, like Colette. I love what she just shared. It was in alignment with my coaching session with nonprofit coach Sharice, who is on literally same exact thing verbatim about the prayer of Jabez. Bible studies on the 12th, but we're making so many major changes to CEO Chicks, and the price is going to actually almost double. So I've been leaking intentionally to people in my, network, in my Believers in Business network, in my email list. We've been doing that intentionally so that you all can see exactly what I do when it comes to CEO Chicks, what the team does when it comes to CEO Chicks. We secured some major sponsorships, which was one of our goals this year, was to move forward with sponsorship, because it has always been just really for us, by us, right? Everything that we've done here at CEO Chicks, which we are a 501c3, has really been just based on the support of our existing members. And now it's time for the network. Will be 8. So we've been doing this since 2016. We're not new to this. So definitely, if you got a text to be on this call, Kay, you'll get the Bible study link for sure. I sent out a message about how to join the list, so you're on it already. But right now, I just want to see who's interested in becoming a CEO Chick that was on here before we do any price changes. I just want to note who you are, your name, and your business. So we have some things happening in the Atlanta region this entire summer, from working with Forbes BLK to working with Shopify, to being able to increase. The reason for the increase is so that we can do some funding within the network. That has always been one of our top goals, is to be able to put funds aside so that we can begin to do some more of the grant competitions, so on and so forth, so that we can truly become a resource for more entrepreneurs. And so I see you, Colette. Yes, the price, Rebecca, will not change. Nope. If you are an existing member, that was one of the biggest things. We hired a new community manager. You'll get a chance to meet him. There'll be a town hall call at the end of the month here. There's a lot that has been happening. And so we're just excited about the shift and the changes. But yes, no price changes for existing members. That is good news. And so right now I'm just giving people the opportunity to join, doing kind of like a little soft, I don't know what we even want to call that, but if you're in my sphere, I'm going to let you know, get in now before we change it. So yes, Colette, would love to see you inside as well. Rebecca. All right. I think Colette. Yes, you are, Rebecca.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Reading the chat. Thank
Yeah,
you,
sure.
Breeze.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen.
Of course. I'm so excited. You guys, hope you have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget your homework, and we'll see each other at the end of the month. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
See you in Bible study on the 12th at noon.
I will
Definitely
try to make
word.
it. Usually I'm at the hospital at that time, but I will try to log in if I'm not on a meeting or something.
Awesome. No worries. Yeah, put me in your headphones.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, because I'm like, God gave me a word for sure for this
Oh
season.
yeah, I've been
For what
in
he
my
is doing.
ministry, just focusing on, where God wants me to be. And so my business is just primarily to help people with, healing that they can do from just what they're eating and their movements and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to work on.
I love that. I love that. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
needed. It's so
yeah,
needed.
There's
that's
a book called I'm not selling this book. I have no